In the world of scientific research, how do we actually know that the results we're seeing are trustworthy? Well, today, we're going to dive deep into that question, looking at it through the lens of good laboratory practice, or GLP. And we're going to focus on the absolutely critical role of the quality assurance unit. To see how all this works in the real world, let's walk through a little case study. We're going to step inside Apex Labs, a non-clinical testing facility where, believe me, the stakes are incredibly high. Their whole reason for being is to make sure new products are safe before they ever get near the public. So Apex Labs just got a new mission, a critical safety study. The data they're about to generate will be used by regulators to make decisions that affect all of us, our health, the environment. So the big question, the one that everything hinges on, is this. How can management, and really all of us, be absolutely certain that the final report is accurate, complete, and reliable? Well, the answer lies with a dedicated and, most importantly, an independent team right there inside the facility. That team is the Quality Assurance Unit, or QA. You can think of them as the internal auditors, the guardians of GLP principles, providing a completely objective check on the entire study process. Okay, let's look at the official OECD definition here, because it highlights two really crucial things. First, it's a defined system. That means it's not just random checks, it's a structured, planned program. And second, and this is the big one, it's independent of study conduct. This means the QA staff literally cannot be involved in doing the study work they're supposed to be auditing. That separation, it's non-negotiable. It's the very source of their credibility. So where does QA's work even begin? Well, it starts long before a single test sample is ever touched. Their role is foundational, kind of like checking the blueprint for a skyscraper before anyone even starts digging. They make sure the whole study is built on a solid foundation. At Apex Labs, the QA team is basically the central library for all the most critical documents. They have to keep the final approved study plan. They need access to every single current standard operating procedure, the detailed how-to guides for every task. And they need to see the master schedule. This gives them a full 360-degree view so they can see how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together across the whole facility. And here we have a major checkpoint. Before that new safety study can even kick off, its plan has to be verified by QA. And make no mistake, this is not just a rubber stamp. It's a critical review designed to catch and stop potential problems before they even have a chance to start. So during this verification, the QA team at Apex Labs is asking some tough questions. Sure, does it tick all the boxes required by GLP? But also, is it written clearly enough for anyone to follow? Is it actually complete with no gaps? And are there any parts that contradict each other? Because, hey, if QA can't understand it, there's a good chance the study team might not either. And of course, this whole verification process is formally documented. All right, so the plan is approved, and the work begins. Now, QA's role shifts. They go from being the planners to being the active monitors. They become the watchful eyes of the facility, making sure that blueprint is being followed in real time to the letter. I want you to just picture this scene at Apex Labs. A QA auditor, clipboard in hand, is standing in the lab, observing the study team during a really critical phase. Maybe it's the exact moment the test substance is being administered. They're there to watch, not to interfere, but to verify that every step is being followed exactly as it was written down. This is what we call an in-life inspection. And this quote just brilliantly captures the core purpose of any inspection. It's not about playing gotcha. It's about confirming two simple things. One, does the team have access to the right documents, the plan and the SOPs? And two, are they actually following them? That direct observation is just so vital for ensuring compliance. Now, QA's inspection program has a few different flavors. You've got your study-based inspections, like the one we just saw, zeroing in on a critical moment in one study. Then there are facility-based inspections, which are more of a high-level audit of the entire facility systems. And finally, process-based inspections, which look at routine things, like how samples are prepared, activities that are done over and over again across many studies. This three-pronged approach gives them really comprehensive oversight. So what happens if an auditor sees something that's not quite right? Well, that observation gets documented and reported quickly and in writing to both the study director who's in charge of the study and to facility management. This formal communication loop is absolutely essential to make sure problems get addressed not swept under the rug. It creates clear accountability. The study is complete. All the data has been collected, the results are compiled, but we're not done yet. Before this study can be officially closed out, QA has one last, incredibly vital role to play: auditing the final report. This quote perfectly sums up the mission of the final report audit. Is the report an honest, faithful story of what actually happened? Does every single number, every single observation, trace directly back to the original, raw data that was recorded during the study? QA's job is to be the detective that verifies that unbreakable link. And this slide gives you a little peek at what that process actually looks like. The QA auditor at Apex Labs takes that draft report and compares it line by line against the source documents. Does the concentration in the report match what's on the instrument printout? Yep. Does the description of an animal's behavior match the original observation log? For sure. They are making certain the report is a true reflection of reality with zero discrepancies. So, after that meticulous report audit is finally done and any issues have been sorted out, QA provides its final stamp of approval. And this comes in the form of a very specific, very important document. And that document is the Quality Assurance Statement. It's only prepared and signed by QA after they are totally satisfied that the report is accurate. This isn't just more paperwork. It's a formal declaration to management, to regulators, and to the world that the entire process has been independently verified. And here's what one actually looks like. For our Apex Labs study, the QA statement is this simple table. It lists every type of inspection that was performed, the specific part of the study they looked at, and the exact date the findings were reported. And then, crucially, it ends with that powerful confirmation. The final report reflects the raw data. It's all signed by the QA auditor. This one page is the final auditable record of their oversight from start to finish. Okay, let's wrap this all up. We've followed the QA team from verifying the initial plan all the way to auditing the final report. So, what's the ultimate purpose of this entire QA program? What's the big takeaway? What it all boils down to is this: quality assurance is the engine that builds confidence. At Apex Labs, and in any facility that follows GLP, that independent oversight from the QA team is the promise to management, to regulators, and to all of us that the science is valid, reliable, and completely trustworthy. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. In a world that relies so heavily on scientific data for our health and our safety, this independent verification isn't just some bureaucratic rule. It is the very bedrock of our trust in science. Without it, how could we ever really be sure? Thanks for joining me.